Welcome back to Steel Rats, or as my iPhone autocorrect insists on calling it, Steel Rays.
Close enough!
Yep, close enough indeed.
I also like that most of the costumes also get the different hairstyles. I'm looking at them. I think that's like this, for example, the Hinamaru.
That is still amazing.
That is a pompadour that feels excitement and guides the driver.
If I remember correctly, I think that was part of some free DLC that came out, the Stylish Mayhem costume pack, which it may have probably been intended to be paid, but when it came out, it was free DLC.
Does nothing to polish the gameplay, but damn, the hair is nice.
I also got this game for free. It was free to own for, I think, a weekend. That's actually how Grump found out about the game and told me about it, and now I'm punishing him by watching me play it.
The long and short of it was basically a case of, I saw the game advertised for free on Steam, went, I know a person who likes jank.
Well, all I can say is you have dug your own grave, Grump.
You say that, but I've played my own fair share of jank, including Vampire, which I told you to try an LP anyway.
That's still in the backlog. So there is yet another melee attack, the charge attack. And despite what the tutorial tells you, that's actually something that all 4 characters can do. Although they're extremely different, like even more so than the regular melee attacks.
Randy! Be quiet. This place could be swarming with those
Randy!
Actually, I think we should call them, junk bots?
Maybe we should leave out Randy's favorite dog food. He'll come running instantly.
What, Dinky D?
Yeah, exactly, Dinky D.
Why,
I just leave the porch light on, he'll find his way home.
Probably.
So, Toshiro has given a nickname to the enemies. They're called junk bots.
They're almost as trashy as the naming sense.
Yeah, so it's also worth noting here that the junk pet can be used on any bit of destructible environment, as well as enemies.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Handy.
This is another gunner goon, but fuck that. Let's just kill him in 5 seconds.
Admittedly, the alien veins are kinda new.
Yeah, that's, we may actually be learning about the origin of these robots. This is a miner. You can shoot it out of the air, but don't stand underneath it, because it will drop and explode.
Obviously, it's the type of miner that actually does not work in mines.
Yeah, these miners are definitely not unionized.
So it's a minor issue.
Yes, exactly. And this game doesn't do a great job of communicating what constitutes a fatal drop. It's very weird. The same thing goes with crashing versus just running into a wall. I think it just has to do with basic distance, but there's not a lot of visual feedback.
Yeah, in that case, there was basically no visual feedback. It was purely a case of, we have no idea how far you have to fall before you die.
Exactly.
I mean, at least Dark Souls at least gives you a hint when there's the death threshold based on height.
Yeah, one of the secondary objectives for this level is to avoid all damage from the miners, which I failed. But not only towards the end of the level.
Why is there a jukebox down here?
These are actually related to an achievement. There's, I think, 1 or 2 hidden jukeboxes in every level. Or not every level, yeah, in every world. This is not a licensed song. It is by the in-universe band, the 5678s. It's called The Hoovering.
Which means it's probably done by the in-dev band, amateur band, which is, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like the garage band for one headed by one of the developers.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for the garage.
This is the Guitar Hero as made popular by, yeah.
So we're gonna have to use these 3 generators. You'd think it's trial and error, but there are actually some visual cues. You have to do this in the correct order. It's not entirely clear what you're doing, but by the end of the level, you'll find out what exactly was the effect of this.
Well, I mean, 132, that's a code that's as old as the Ocarina of Time.
And whatever that was that happened in the background, that certainly looked ominous.
It looked like an EMP.
I mean, this is alternate universe 1940, but then again, the technology limits of this alternate universe are very inconsistent. This is a repair station. It's where you can... the only place to restore health in the game. Mid-level, I should say.
Well, at least the game has that option.
Watch out!
Oh no, it's a giant chick!
There has to be an exit down there.
So this set piece with the Schick Razor is kind of the sink or swim moment when it comes to tolerating this game's bullshit. If you can get through this, you're pretty much clear for the rest of the game. I wanted to get a clean take of this, so there were several attempts that failed right at this part. I'm making this look a lot easier than it is. And not intentionally.
Honestly, you're doing a pretty good job, though. It probably took you at least 3 cuts.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, momentum really is the killer on that section.
What's buzzing, cousin?
So this is Randy, our 3rd protagonist.
Hey, Randy, this isn't even really an enclosed space, bud. What's going on here?
Thanks for the save, but did you just try to bring this whole mine down on our heads?
Not our idea. It's getting real crazy out there.
Randy is probably my 2nd favorite character in the game, voice acting wise, after Veronica.
So basically, he has personality.
And his voice actor sounds like he's having a lot of fun.
And of course, he can't speak German worth a lick, dams.
Yeah, you can tell this guy is German, not just by the jerry can that he's wearing, not just by the occasional German word, but because his name is Randall Kaiser.
I am going to very quietly wince in the background and swear under my breath for the next few minutes, okay?
Also, can you guess where the secret is here?
Straight down.
Motherfucker, how'd you figure it out?
You showed me earlier.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot that I sent you that.
Wait a minute. I was gonna ask, do you have to fall down there and survive to keep it, or?
No, you keep
Okay.
the secret. Thankfully, you keep the secret, but I completely forgot I showed that to you.
And this is the end result, a good hearty laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst placed secrets in terms of, like, complete bullshit that the game has to offer. Though there are plenty of levels later on that are close competition.
They're never gonna find this. Ah!
And anyone who does will die. So this is a hangar. It's like a miner, but you actually have to time it. Yeah, there are timing platforming elements in a game with very wonky momentum. And you're on a motorcycle.
Very wonky everything, you mean?
Yeah, and pretty much everything is wonky. Yeah, that's where I failed the no minor damage challenge. Doesn't matter. Though I probably could have used it, because I was just under. Although, thankfully, I redid the level and got it off screen.
And you still didn't manage to avoid being damaged by him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's time to get some upgrades again. I was mentioning before that there are a lot of issues with using James's melee attack in midair, and that upgrade to increase it is doesn't help things. Randy has a completely different primary attack with his harpoon.
He also is, so far, the physically weakest of the characters, with basically only 3 health bars instead of 4 or 5.
Yeah, eventually we'll be able to upgrade all of them to have the same health bar and energy bars. This is his DLC paint job. Also, this is called stealth for some reason. I like that there are little descriptions for the locations that add a lot of world building. Okay, a lot might be pushing it, but they do add world building of a sort.
I mean, world building of any level is worth a good hearty chuckle.
Yeah.
So this is the train station then.
Yes.
So if you ride on the tracks, you get smacked?
Yeah. Anyway, so this actually has multiple paths. So I'll be showing both of them off. Especially because you can only get the secret on the path I'm not taking here.
Why does that not surprise me at all?
Yeah, so Randy, his grappling hook or harpoon or whatever you want to call it, it attaches to whatever enemy it hits. And then you, and then you're anchored to the enemy. And you sort of swing around, and I think the idea is that you try to use the momentum of Randy's bike to hit other enemies.
We need to find her.
Of course, I can only conjecture about this because the game doesn't tell you anything, and even in the developer diaries that I sought out, they don't really mention how Randy works at all.
Well, I mean, the game at least just said that we know where the robots are from. It's now an alien robot invasion.
Yes, or at least that's the assumption at this point.
To be fair, 1940s America, alien also includes things like Germans and Japanese.
In this alternate universe, the Americans are surprisingly immigrant-friendly. Like, almost everyone in the cast is either a first or second generation immigrant. Like, Toshi's Japanese, Randall is German, and Lisa, the other character we haven't met yet, is from Brazil.
Which is fair cop. It's also rather refreshing to have a game where the characters are obviously multicultural without being a parody of themselves.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have an American game, a Polish game set in America as opposed to having Americans make it. So this is the alternate path, the one where you actually can get the secret here. And we're going to do something extremely reckless. We're going to turn on the crushers, which is the only way to progress on this path.
I mean, can it technically be called Wreckless?
Actually, it's not as reckless as it seems, because when you get crushed, it's not instant death. It just takes away 1 pip of the health bar.
So, technically, it is reckless as you're not getting wrecked.
Ah, there you go. I'll find some way to make that the video title.
Is Lisa around?
And the same dialogue plays here, but in a different context.
And you still have to deal with suicide bombs.
Yeah, those are spinners. They will home in on you and explode in your face, and you have to use the wheel saw or your primary attack in order to destroy them without taking damage.
Or to quote people who have experienced playing Battlefield, they are Jihad Jeep pillbugs.
I only know that because of Lazy Fire's Battlefield videos.
Which are superb, by the way.
Yes. You may have also noticed there is a hard cap on ammo, which can be upgraded. But it also means that you're kind of expected to use up all of your ammo prior to finding the next stash. And because there are multiple types of guns, if you pick up a different type of ammo, that will instantly replace whatever gun you have currently equipped with no way to switch back.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can also be an incredible pain in the ass.
I call it more of a pain in the ass than not, because the icons aren't very good. And you can, if you're not paying attention or you don't remember what is what, it can be very easy to lose track of what weapon is what.
So as a side note, a little while ago you mentioned that, what's his nibs, Randall also has a jerrycan. Stupid bit of trivia for you. The jerrycan was actually a military secret in World War II.
Really?
Yeah, it was a case of it was had self-sealing caps and was easy to carry. So the Germans kept it a secret because about 40% of all the Allied fuel losses in World War II were courtesy of leaking fuel containers.
Huh. For some reason I thought the Jerry stereotype was a First World War thing. I don't know why.
Oh, no, it was the first, in the First World War, it was mostly, the Boche and the Hun, because it was basically comparing the Germans to the Mongols. And that was actually, yeah. I'll talk about history later at some different point, because I'm a student of history. I love reading about it.
I don't know. I expected my military stereotypes to be far more racially sensitive. I'm disappointed.
Oh, please, they're about as sensitive as you or I.
And I just realized I forgot to stop and listen to that MRU. If it's actually different, I'll have a look. I'll look for it.
I heard artillery fire in the background and the radio, so yes, it's different.
I'm broadcasting from the roof of Warren Industries. In the eastern city skyline, I can see artillery fire and strange lights in the clouds. It seems there is heavy fighting in Warrensgate. Militia forces are moving towards the old town. I can see military vehicles moving toward Warrensgate, and looking from where I am, I can confirm with all certainty that we are currently at war with a heavily armed enemy. I repeat, this is a CSRB reporter confirming that Coastal City has become a war zone. This message will repeat.
The green bots, they sometimes give you power-ups. I think this one is you get a maxed out score multiplier for the next 30 seconds. I don't remember exactly though. There are other ones. There's one utterly useless one that puts you and only you into slow motion.
God, that is probably the worst punishment. Also, funny death.
Yes, very funny death. Okay, so we need to let James rest after that. Let's go with Toshi. And similar to tank controls, when you're on the side here, your controls aren't remapped relative to the camera. And this is a very bizarre mechanic. There's electricity occasionally. You have to do a wheelie in order to avoid being damaged.
Which is funny because, well, obviously the wheels are rubberized. They're going to keep you safe anyway in any realistic sense of the word.
Yeah, I can only assume it's because of the buzzsaw. You can't really do much rubber when you also have you also have a rotator blade on the front of your bike.
Except you don't have a rotator blade until you activate the buzzsaw button.
That's, I don't know. Trying to think about this game's world building hurts my brain, so I'd rather not do it. I've also been using the spin attack here, which we originally used to deflect the goons. The goons bolts back at them, but it's also a standard melee attack. It almost breaks the game at points, so I try not to use it that much.
It says the person really using it every half second.
Yeah, I know. I'm stricter about it in later videos.
Sure you are.
And earlier you might have seen like some sort of weird electric light show. That is an ultimate attack. It's yet another form of attack where if you have at least 3 pips in the energy bar and you hold down B, you spin in place and then do a huge attack.
And of
which-
course, everyone has their own unique ultimate.
Yes, completely unique.
Well, we say completely unique. I mean, I think we can still safely say probably crap.
Yeah, also, we talked over one of my favorite Randall lines, which is, I'm out of juice!
What?
I was on the wrong lane.
Yeah, you're on the wrong lane, alright. Technically, this game is always the wrong lane.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of depth perception when you're on the ceiling. Sometimes that jump can kill you, but not always.
Hey, I can already see the bridge.
Oh, thank God. We can already see the bridge.
You'll just have to trust us. It's just off screen.
I see you actually did this on a earlier run as well, seeing as how you have the guns to destroy X number of junk bots already checked off.
Exactly, you got it. So coming up is our first boss fight. It's more of a set piece, but it still counts as a boss in my opinion. So this is for Toshi's ultimate, or no, Toshi's charge attack. Supposed to drop bombs. It doesn't work very well. And Toshi's ultimate was that electric thing that we saw earlier. James's is more of like a standard AoE attack that does a lot of damage.
Which makes sense. I mean, the guy hits like a brick.
And as for Randy's, I think we'll be seeing Randy's ultimate attack later in the boss. I can't remember. And we'll give Toshi the Warren Industries costume. Alexander Warren is the founder of Coastal City, and he's unfortunately not really a part of the main story, but there's a lot about him in the lore, which is what we've been picking up these secrets. That's what gets us to more lore. Lore videos will be separate, usually about 5 or 6 minutes each. They'll be at the end of each area.
And they're unlikely to have commentary over them, so you can sit back and chuckle.
Yeah. The next secret is directly behind us.
Have you thought like Insomniac today?
Because it's the boss, and there's really no other place to put it.
I'm out of juice.
There we go, that's the line. God, I love Randall.
God, he sounds just like a teenager I knew back when I was in high school.
They all kind of do, even James.
Yeah, but let's be fair, when we were teenagers we were all young, dumb, and stupid, and that hasn't changed.
Cow. What the hell is that?
I love the spelling on that subtitle.
It's like a walking, laser-shooting bulldozer.
More like a Vertemp killdozer.
See, I told you there was a killdozer in this game.
I am disappointed it is not a converted bulldozer. I am impressed it is a robot crab.
Yeah, it is very much a robot crab. There's also this attack, which I still have no idea exactly how it works. Sometimes I can get through the arms, and of course, it's a death. So when you die, you lose that biker for the rest of the level. You have to switch, and now we can only choose James or Toshi. Randall's dead until the next level, and if we go to a repair station, we cannot bring him back to life. We can only repair the surviving members.
Should we feel bad or should we laugh at him? You decide.
I mean, we can feel bad for him in person and then laugh behind his back.
That's what I'm going with.
So the ultimate attacks work pretty well here. Like you can see James almost emptied his health bar with his ultimate. This is another attack where I don't know how it works.
I mean, it just sine waved back and forth.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to go into the opposite lane, but on other takes that I had of this, it didn't work.
It's zigzagging back and forth through the lanes from the looks of things.
Anyway, Killdozer's down. I'm sure we won't be seeing him again.
Congratulations, you defeated a giant robot four-legged spider with a handgun.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of work with the motorcycle as well, but yeah, I see what you're saying, how stupid it could be.
It makes progressively less sense.
And with that, we're done with the first area. Of course, I also messed up, but don't worry, I got this off screen. This is my reminder to show the take where I got it off screen. Because I forgot to put it in this time. But it'll be in when this video goes up. So with that, we have one verdammt killdozer on the blood of it on our hands, or the oil, I guess, however you want to call it.
Well, I gotta give credit to the game. At least it's trying to have interesting variety with its enemies, even within the conceit of junky robot thing.
Oh, it is trying so fucking hard. It's kind of adorable, actually.
It's cute. You almost want to put it on the refrigerator.
Well, yeah, put it on the refrigerator, slap a magnet over its CPU, give it a good wipe.
Yeah.
And put an A+ over the C- grade. Just to make the kid feel better.
No. Turn the C into a D.
No. That's the renegade parent option.
Well, yeah.
Alright, so as a reminder, next update, update 3, is going to come out the same time as update 4. 3 is just going to be the lore that we collected at the start of World 1. And then in update 4, we will start Area 2. I can't remember the names of the various districts of Coastal City. Maybe I'll put a map up on screen, but...
It is on the map, so
yeah.
It's all on you now.
Yeah.